um, Fallon show where he did the spoof on David Bowie, Tim Tebow to Jesus Christ. I was sitting there and they had a Fox News thing. I went and watched it. The Democrats' celebration for Easter was a big, insult to Joe Biden. It's like, well, he's a career politician. All politicians start a career that is, down the primrose path of debt and trespass and the bowels of hell until you say, hey, live the Lord's Prayer. Right? So you're sitting there. And right after that, they had this thing, and it's Tim Tebow. Right? He's sitting there addressing Congress or somebody, like a bunch of Peckerwoods, on the pussy plantation full of shit, right? He's talking about this girl, and they're in a leadership class, and she's got this sad countenance, 20,000 what? These are the numbers that law enforcement comes up of kids that are getting raped or trafficked and stuff. And you're like, oh, that's horrid. There's lies, damn lies in their statistics, right? I'm pretty sure it's a lot more than 20,000. That's just the ones they think they see because they're law enforcement, they're gravity and photosynthesis, right? And Tim prays to Jesus. And Tim, those leadership people, remember Dad with the Pee Wee football guy? He just doesn't get it. He just doesn't get it, Tim. You see, you forgive debt and trespass, Tim, like Jesus commanded. And if people do things sexually that other people don't approve of, like maybe, have sex with their own kids, which happens still, even with gravity and photosynthesis and people that call themselves law enforcement, right? This is going to happen, like in King Solomon's Israel, with the mother, take the baby and cut it in half. No, you're the real mother, right? Wisdom, we need wisdom now. We don't need a bunch of jerks that think they're law enforcement and trying to replace gravity and photosynthesis with their egos, right? So I was talking to Jesus in the future, and he goes, all this stuff will be eradicated, Earl, once we're living the Lord's Prayer. If people have children and they have sex with their own children, the children will have the opportunity to go where people don't want that to happen. This is biological and psychological conditioning over thousands of years, right? And they'll say, I don't want to be part of this. If they want to be a part of it, it's part of their biological and psychological conditioning, and you don't step in and play law enforcement and God and tell people what to do. You just let them know there's something better, It's Mel Gibson movie, Freedom, right? Jean roses are red, your own little brigadoon. And we can't make people be moral. Stephen Hawking at so-called orgies at the Jeffrey Epstein complex because they have debt and trespass for law enforcement, and And so people have to understand what law enforcement really is. And they have to, when you're talking to Christ and you ask Christ for help, he will help you. But you have to be sincere, and I have to hear it. And then your business partners have to throw you in front of the bus, right? Well, we're trying to go after this group or that group. I think they're just trying to target people with technology is what I think is going on. And they try to go after the people that are most hypocritical or irrational. So apparently there's people in politics that think you're hypocritical and irrational. And probably people that pay for gender change operations to manage surplus population numbers, creepos like that. Law enforcement, right? And so, so Tim Tebow from the living Christ. I happen to be the living Christ. We always have a living Christ among us. You are the Christ. You're the Adam, Moses, David, Jesus, John. My name's Earl. Stories in the book of Revelation. I explain it to people. They don't explain it to me. I always explain everything to people. They don't explain it to me. I sit there and go, are you looking at this? Yes, okay. Hi, do you run the psychology department at the University of Chicago for 30 years? How's your meme doing, right? How's Richard Dawkins? I don't really... I care if he wants to live the Lord's Prayer. If he doesn't want to live the Lord's Prayer, Richard Dawkins could go sod off. There you go, right on. So anybody want to rent a Richard Dawkins award and then have a bunch of your money-making videos show up on my YouTube for me to psychoanalyze? Is that what it's called? I don't really know. I don't see the psychoanalyzing, guys. Life's eternal, grace is infinite. I'm just a source of eternal, faithful prayer, communications, right? So I don't really psychoanalyze. I just look at it and go, okay, look at life eternally. There's truly work for all. Not based on human greed, but based on human need. I really love Judah Krishnamurti too. Go, go, go first. Watch him go, go, go. What can two little Indians do? Him say you in heap big trouble, right? So hopefully, the Heisman House is finding this somewhat amusing. Especially, everybody knows I like RG3. Gabe didn't like him because he got drafted by the foreskins, as Gabe calls them. Now, of course, the Commanders. Okay, I command you to live the Lord's Prayer. They think they're law enforcement. Okay. Son of a bitch, we suck again. Okay, wake her ass up. We want to win tomorrow. No more bourbon at the bowl. No more bourbon at the bowl, right? Tackly fuel. Tim was a quarterback. But he probably would have made a pretty good linebacker, too. Yeah, I bet you he would have. Yeah. He would have made a pretty tolerable linebacker. He's a very good athlete, right? And a tough, very tough kid, right? And a good athlete. And his team rallied around, I haven't played a dynasty with a Florida team, but not a big Florida team. I do little teams. The only team I ever did was the Owls of Fort Lauderdale, with Howard Schnellenberger Stadium. I used to coach those dreaded Miami Hurricanes. It's all about the you. And me, and you, and me, and you, and me, and me, and you. It's all about the you. Well, let's love one another. It's all about you. Good for you, University of Miami Hurricane. Let's wash away all those sins, right? I'm just being silly. But the reason why I picked it, because I like the little palm tree things involved in the architecture on the stadium. And at that time, they actually had grass on the field, and football should be played on grass. And I did say that while Tim was waiting in prayer while I was playing video games and, farting around listening to music. And I have really good taste in music. And I totally agree. You like reggae, huh? Okay. Is that very Christian of you? I'm just kidding. I like reggae too. Yeah. I was sitting there. Tim Tebow like reggae, man. Wow, got a good sense of humor. Yeah, I'm sure he laughed at the Tim Tebow to Jesus Christ thing with what's his face, Jimmy Fallon. Yeah, that's funny, Jimmy. Yeah. How much money did you make off of that? Either one of us living up to Lord's Prayer? Nope, I guess neither one of us are getting through to Jesus Christ there, unless, of course, we think we're David Bowie, right? Which are all quoted on his video before, the little thing, He quoted David Bowie, and then, what was the other one? Oh, Stairway to Heaven. There we go, yeah. Couldn't find a emoji for a stairway, because I wanted to do Stairway to the Stars and just say, I like Ella Fitzgerald, too. I like Ella Fitzgerald, yeah. All of me. Zoot-dee-da, zoot-dee-da, zoot-dee-doo, zoot-dee-da, zoot-dee-da. You took the part. Everybody love Ella Fitzgerald? If you don't, you should. Okay? It's not a command, but it's a really good suggestion. Okay? Because you have free will. You can have really bad taste if you really want to. You can have sucky taste if you want to. You can have it all your life in mind. And if you have sucky taste, then you don't dance to good music, and you ain't no Ella Fitzgerald friend of mine, and you can dance over there. Go away. And I'm just kidding. Joking, all right? Anybody else love All of Me? Oh my gosh, it's so wonderful. Her All of Me is just wow. Yeah. It's like, wow. El Capitan of Olympic good taste team, and we'll stop all the gold medaling and just say, hey, how you feeling? I'm feeling very Olympiad today. Zoot-and-dee-da, zoot-and-dee-da, zoot-and-dee-da. You took the part that once was my heart, so why not take all of me? They did. They eat us every day with sacrificial thing. That creeps me out when I learned that in church, What are we doing? They're sacrificially eating Jesus and drinking his blood. That's really fucking creepy. I said, fuck yes, so that's, vulgar intercourse. Sacrificing, eating, that's like the Donner Party and shit. Yeah, wow. Tim Tebow to David Bowie. And Freddie Mercury, too. I like Freddie Mercury, too. Yeah, David Bowie. I'm more fond of, I don't know. I do like Modern Love and Major Tom and... what's my other David Bowie song that I really like? I like Modern Love and Major Tom, and there's an older one that I like that... Fame, that's it. Thank you, Tim Tebow. Thank you. Fame. Fame, that you get what you borrow. Fame, 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 fame. Yeah, that's one of my favorite David Bowie tunes. I don't know what happened to his voice when he started singing songs with Mick Jagger, and then did I'm a DJ, let's dance. And China Girl's like, what happened? Did you hear his vocal cords? He sounded better back in the show. Maybe he hurt his vocal cords. It's possible he strained his vocal cords. Like one of my favorites with violins. You know, when I mention the violins, I get from Jennifer Lopez camp. You know, the Skyliners. Yeah, that's how not Tim Tebow. Jimmy Beaumont damaged his vocal cords. Having to sing like 5 times a day, 5 days a week. Paying everybody's bills and getting tickets in right field behind Roberto Clemente, right? Well, he's from Pittsburgh. Jimmy Beaumont's from Pittsburgh. Tim's, I believe, from Florida. Don't know. We'll have to find out later. But I'll look it up online. He gets emotional. You know, I'm getting him in prayer, but he's real emotional. It's like he doesn't know what to think. Neither does Jennifer Lopez. You're in pretty decent celebrity company. She doesn't know what to think either. She's so confused. I've been thinking, which I like that song too. Do you like that song? That's my favorite song of hers. I love the guitar in it, and I love the bedroom voice. And I'm like, is this autotune? It's not. It doesn't sound like autotune. It really sounds like her. I don't think it's autotune. I think that's really her. Because it has the, it has like it's verbally acrobatic, and it showcases her voice real well, and I like the lyrics, and the piano's real good, and the backup vocals are choice, you know. All I want is a way to feel. This is so you can have a bigger part of me. I don't want to disappoint you. That's the last thing I would do. Anybody else like that song? I like the song very much. Thank you. I like it as much as my favorite Janet Jackson song. Ooh, baby, every time the world gets crazy, all I have to do is just think of you. And don't you like the horn section? When I think of you, baby, nothing else seems to matter. Right? Is anybody else, is that their favorite Janet Jackson song? Tim Tebow, how about you? You like Janet Jackson? She's cute. Yeah. Older women, you need to go read some Benjamin Franklin. Okay, go do that. Pecan waffles. Trust me. Getting a hallelujah, brother, from the ladies at the View on that one, yeah. He's right, yeah. You'll find Benjamin Franklin. He knows what he's talking about. Right, you'll find that they're very appreciative. Okay. If you do the Hebrew 101, everybody's got to get their cookies, just like Alec Baldwin movie with the, and got to hit the mark. Again and again and again. Okay, ladies from the View, that's enough. Okay. Enough again and again and again. I think he's cute too. Nice figure. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, he must work out. Yeah. Like, what's the name of that movie? Everybody likes it a lot. Dumb and Dumber. Look at the butt on that. Yeah, she must work out. It's funny. It is funny. It's just locker room talk. It's just humans being humans, right? There's nothing wrong with. I always just tell people that too. It's like, no. Like Donald Trump, nobody can compliment anybody because everybody's so uptight about sexual harassment because we're stuck in debt and trespass from a bunch of goobers, right? But you could sit there and say, oh my gosh, that looks lovely on you. That's a nice ensemble. Looks very lovely. I like your hair like that. Looks lovely. Okay. That's how you should pretty much more or less compliment as opposed to actual physical attributes. I would love to throw you down on a bed, spread your legs wide, and start licking till I sounded like a dog drinking water out of a dish and you howled like a coyote. Well, I'm a pervert and I support this message and I'd like to run for president. I'm a career politician. Okay? Make it stop. I'm working on it, right? Privacy is absolutely wonderful, right? Privacy. Like when Teddy Pendergrass had to pay his bills and sit there and said, turn out the lights and let's take a shower together. Right. You got to have privacy. Everybody knows what's going on in there. We're playing tiddlywinks, yeah, and then I'm washing her hair. Herbal essence, lots of it. Yeah, there we go. Not too much. It's like with that stuff that, when they have those commercials for the Old Spice and everything, you only need like one little thing on a squeegee and it covers your whole body. I got 245 pounds of body. It covers your whole body. And then you're still washing the crap off. And it's like there's a film of smelly stuff from a lab on me, right? But I want to smell good for the people at the store so I don't offend them because of all my kids will poisoning because of all their local heroes. Bum, 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 bum. If you don't, you should. Just go local hero. Yellow Jackets. Really good jazz band, right? Mark Russo. Nice guy. Yeah. Heads, lead sax, right? Okay, yeah. So, ba-na, 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 ba. Like Samurai Samba, also good. Four Corners, the whole album, especially the flip side, from Mile High to, yeah, it's a really good album. Excellent Tante album. Yeah. Four Corners, yeah. One of my favorite jazz albums. Yeah. It's good. It's right up there, kind of blue by the Miles Davis. Jazz Love Supreme. Yeah, that's a good one. Giant Steps, also a good album. What else? What's albums I grew up on? Yeah. So, yeah. Anybody else like jazz? No? All of me. Yeah, she's a jazz singer. Just anybody, in case was curious there. Yeah. Ella Fitzgerald. Yeah. Okay. So I'm just filling time. No, Tim Tebow's very nervous. He got connected to me through his business partners. Throw him under the bus. It's like, you're not getting thrown under the bus. I like Tim Tebow. I think he's a well-intended, dumb as a box of rocks kid. He kind of reminds me a lot of Jennifer Lopez. How's it going? You okay? Feel like you got to pee? You do know I'm the Messiah, right? Okay. Do I make you nervous? Do you want me to? Stand for the Lord's Prayer. You'll be less nervous. It hasn't worked with Lopez yet. Maybe she doesn't know who I am. It's entirely tangible that neither she nor Tim Tebow nor Jimmy Fallon nor Ryan Seacrest understand what humble is, understand what faithful is, understand what righteous is, understand at all, because of all the perverts here in the space program. Well, they work with the military. Perverts, right? They're law enforcement. They're going to keep people safe from sexual predication. Okay, let's forgive debt and trespass, love all, eternal, faithful peace, and then we'll rearrange our perception of grooming and sexual predication. Okay? You got to be righteous before you can hold anybody else to a righteous, holy standard. But you're not living the Lord's Prayer, so therefore you're not gravity or photosynthesis. So please shut the hell up. Thank you. You're welcome. I'm the Messiah, just in case you were wondering. Your goodbye left me with hearts that cry. Is that Benny Griffin Spadeham? Are they singing the Gator songs? No, we're at Doak Campbell and they're singing the Tomahawk Chop. Just as long as the Gators win, I really don't care. No, I was actually more of a fanatic, not a fanatic, but I like Burt Reynolds. Burt Reynolds used to play at Florida State. I really like their uniforms. I like Chief Osceola. There's a lot to like about Florida State. I'm not pissing Tim Tebow off. You just chose the wrong school to go to. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking around. I like Bobby Bowden. Bobby Bowden was a nut. They all are. Hey, let's get a lot of kids in here. Let's sell lots of tacos. Let's sell lots of beer, lots of cars, lots of insurance. Help promote our local real estate market. And let's forget the Lord's Prayer even exists. Don't feel bad, Florida State or Florida or Miami. They do it at BYU, Notre Dame, Boston College, Gonzaga, and all other Catholic schools that are Jesuit and or Franciscan. Yahweh, okay, and all Christian schools that call themselves Christians that aren't really Christians. You can call yourself a Christian, but if you're not standing for the Lord's Prayer, you're not getting killed in the Roman Colosseum, and you're just not good enough for the show. Some say it's just a part of it. We got to fulfill the book. Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? Living Christ to Jimmy Fallon. Fallon? Did you know? I don't want to be on your show. I want you to go home and love your family like Mother Teresa said. That's what will help promote world peace. Right? Hey, she had a point there. She sure did. Okay. So... birth control. Birth control is love. Well, you can't have any more wives and children than you can lovingly care and provide for. Holy Koran, Batman. There you go. What's your superpower? I have lots of, oh shit, I've got money. I'm insane. Right. I think it's a superpower, right? And I'm trying to replace law enforcement, and I think I'm gravity and photosynthesis. Right. And I've just destroyed God and sold a book in the movie called The Theory of Everything. Yes. Oh gosh, damn it, I suck. Please help me. I'm insane. I want to go to an Epstein orgy. I'm Stephen Hawking's ghost, and I support this message. Okay, do you understand? He was an asshole. I hold to that statement. Okay. Until Alan Gibson told me, no, there's love there. I've heard him talk. I've heard him talk too, and it seems like there is love there. Lots of people do that. In the name of science, let's protect us from crazy people that are killer cults, sex cults from outer space with satellite technologies to get people to believe in bullshit instead of reality. Right, but faith should be based on reality, and the Lord's Prayer should be applied in physics before Stephen Hawking tries to come home from an Epstein orgy and tell me how to properly understand science and explain it to him. When you sit and you look at my life story, it's like totally cool. It's like when you measure it up, I don't really want to measure it up because I love all the people in the Gospels, and they did the right thing at their time in the right place. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have the foundation like Muhammad said, we could all step out from under you. Wow, hit your ass. Okay, I don't want to do that. I'll be humble and say, hey, without the foundation of Adam and Eve, I would be Daryl and Steve and asking for Discovery to prep to fuck myself to death because I'm insane and I don't understand love. Okay, there you go. Yeah, I have a friend here in town, Justin Gentile, homosexual, will not sodomize or be sodomized by his lover. Still gay, doesn't want to have kids. Maybe he'll rethink about it and maybe think about a girl if we're living the Lord's Prayer tomorrow. He's that sweet of a kid, he probably would. You know, I really enjoyed being with you and you're a good man, but I think I want to have kids now. Well, I can, lovingly care and provide for children with a woman. That sounds, I feel like you want to go find me a candle in the wind who knows who to cling to when the rain sets in. There you go. All right, harmony and me, we're pretty good company, and he shall be Levon, and he shall be a good man. Jesus, you still want to go to Venus? No, you burn up there, man. It's just crazy. Who comes up with this shit? Bernie wrote it. He's crazy. I like Bernie. He writes cool songs. Anybody else like Bernie? I do too, Tiny Dancer. Me too. Okay, guys, this was pretty interesting. I was connecting to Tim Tebow and Jimmy Fallon and other such people, and they're all like terrified of their lie and it not coming out, You never be afraid of truth. Always don't be afraid of lie either. Okay, when you're not afraid of lie, you're full of shit, man, and I'm not ever going to give in to you again or let you manipulate me and not let me live the truth. I love the truth. I embrace the truth with all my being. Because the Lord's Prayer is perfect and it's deliverance from evil. I will sustain it with the faith of Psalms and the wisdom of Proverbs. And there's not a religion on the planet that can deny the beauty of all of them. There we go. All of me. Why not take all of me? Your goodbye left me with eyes that cry. Why, can't you see I'm no good without you? Especially female type people that like Ella Fitzgerald music at their barn dances and are a fine dancer and want to dance with used to could. Maybe if I get down to about 200 pounds again, I could dance pretty good again too. Nothing too hard. I don't want to hurt myself. I want to enjoy the rest of my life. I'm going to be 60 years old and I've been abused by the worst perverts in the history of the world. And everybody should know it if they think they're somebody. And if they are nobody, well, he called today, but we hung up when you asked your name. I wonder if they think they're being clever. Hey, they must work for NASA. Okay. Or Homeland Security. There you go. So anybody on left or right side of the government trying to teach me lessons for undermining your plans. You fuck up your own plans because your plans are fucked. And even Tim Tebow said, Jesus know we said that? Yeah, Jesus knows we said that. He said it's okay. He says it's vulgar intercourse, just like gripping your eye. But we're okay, Tim. Jesus is all right with this. Jesus is just, I like that song too. Yeah, you did too? It's Doobie Brothers. Yeah. Well, we have legalized marijuana in New Mexico. It's only necessary because we have psychopaths that used to kill people for the government for a paycheck. Yeah. Okay. I think it will be less necessary once we're living the Lord's Prayer. Don't you, Tim? I like you. I like this guy. I like RG3 too. Yeah, when the guy got him the little cowboy hats and stuff, that was funny. Yeah, I like those two guys. I like them. Me too. Yeah. I like Barry Sanders too. Yeah, me too. Me too. Me too. Yeah. Hey. Charlie Ward. I like Charlie Ward too. Yeah, me too. Yeah. Florida State. You okay? You can't let the people of Florida know you like him. You do. You're a stand-up guy, Tim. I like you. You like Guru too? I like Guru too. We have a lot in common. I also like Hot Stepper. Yeah, I know you like that. You said that. I know what Vo don't know. I like that too. Aren't you a little too... Your parents let you listen to that? I'm just kidding around. I'm giving you a hard time, bro. I thought all you listened to was Amy Grant, VeggieTales songs, and Michael W. Smith. And Vince Gill. I like Vince Gill too. My dad likes Vince Gill. Yeah, I'm not as big of a fanatic of Vince Gill or Amy Grant as I am of like I'm old, you know. So lots of Waylon Jennings, Marty Robbins, the best. You know who Marty Robbins is? You're just being a kiss ass. Really? Everybody loves Marty. Tonight Carm album. It's the best. You better go listen to it, Tim. If you haven't listened to it by the time I meet you, and you're not sitting there singing, "Is there anything left I can say? Love's gone away," and you're like, "I totally agree. I totally agree too. Me too. Yahweh. Okay." I like this guy. I could barbecue with him. Yeah, I like him. My brother-in-law would totally dig you. That's Tim Tebow. Yeah, you do know your brother-in-law is the Messiah. Oh, go ahead. Just go hang out with Tim Tebow. It's Tim Tebow. He's won national championships in Florida. Go Gators. It's a guy. It's a Gator. It's a chomp, right? Isn't that it? Yeah, okay. What does that one sound like? I can't remember. Da-na-na-na. Go Gators! I am connecting to Tim Tebow. Go Gators! You have to, okay, I get it. Da-na-na-na. Go Gators! Go! Okay, yeah, it's him. Okay, I love you guys, all right? Peace out. Steve Spurrier. Is he a pretty good guy? Yeah. He's a coach. Yeah, they all have their moments, don't they? Yeah, they do. Yeah, that's because they'll do anything to win for that money. Once they're living Lord's Prayer, I'm sure he'll be a lot better guy. All of them will. Yeah, I totally agree, Tim. Okay. Now if we can just get through to Jimmy Fallon. Okay, peace out, man.